Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jean. You're welcome to this sewing vlog. So today we'll be learning how to sew the palazzo trouser we drafted previously and also the Grecian neck top that we drafted. I'll be combining the two of them together to create a jumpsuit. So sit back, relax and enjoy if you want to see how this turns out. If you're new to my channel, please kindly subscribe and like the video. Leave a comment in the comment section. I'd love to read from you. So right here, it's the pattern for the jumpsuit. Okay, this is a pattern for the palazzo, and what I have at the side is my top. So what I will do next is to place my pattern on the fabric that I'll be using, and then we'll go ahead and cut out. So just place your pattern on your fabric and trace it off on your pattern, and then you just go ahead and cut out. So that's what I'm doing here. And after cutting, ensure that on your trouser pattern on the fabric you notch the knee line. Okay, so just put a notch at the knee line so that it will aid in joining them when you're about to stitch them together. All right guys, so here we are done cutting. Now we move on to joining the pieces together. Now, after cutting out the fabric off from the pattern, I went ahead to sew in my dart for the back. Okay, I'll place that aside. I did the same thing for the front. So for the front, you place the two side piece, ensure you match them notches. The notches, I notched this pattern. So for the parts where you have your notches on the center, front and the side, you place them right sides facing both sides, and you're going to be stitching from the waist up. So that is what I've done for the front. You can see I have just one piece for my front. I have also done the same thing for my facing for the front. So this is it for the front. The facing is not going to be as long as what we have for the front. So I have cut out exactly the same shape for my facing, and I've reduced the length. Now, for some of us that don't know how to cut out facing, this is it right here. I'm going to be cutting out the facing for the back. So what I did is to place the pattern on my fabric, and then we are just going to cut it exactly the same way. So the essence of cutting out a facing is so that the neckline of your garment will finish off nicely. If you don't want to use a bias, so that is why we are using a facing. So you can see the way I've cut it out. I just placed my back panel on a piece of fabric, and I cut out the neckline and the shoulder line the same way I have on the main fabric. So here it is. I'm going to separate the two pieces together because the back is in two pieces. So one of the facing is going to be for one side of the back, and the other will be for the other side. So this is what our facing for the back looks like. All right, so after you've done this, now we're going to move on to the lower part of our jumpsuit, which is the bottom. Now what I will do here is, this is the front panel of my pants, of my trouser, and you are going to place them together and you're going to be stitching them on the crotch. So I have one part of my trouser right here. I'll place the second part on it. Do ensure that when you are joining these two of them together, you're joining them right sides facing each other. So I've placed them right sides facing each other right now, and what I'll do is to secure the crotch line with my pins, and then take it to the sewing machine to stitch from the waist till the end of our crotch extension. So after stitching, this is what the front panel looks like. Okay, you can see it's looking beautiful. Now we will repeat the same process for the back. Okay, the same thing that we did for the front is what we do for the back. We place them right sides facing each other, the two back panel. And for the back, because I'm going to be attaching a zipper at the back, from the waistline I'm going to measure the length of where the zipper is going to stop at the back of my trouser, and I'm going to place a mark at that point. So from that point where I placed the mark, that is where we are going to be stitching all the way down to the crotch extension of the back. So after taking a mark at that point, I'm going to also mark out 1/2 inch from that point to touch my crotch extension, and that is the part where we are going to be stitching closed. All right, remember this is a jumpsuit we're making. So here, after marking out that point, all right, I will just take it to the machine now, and we're going to close it off to touch the crotch extension, and the top will be open. So here I have stitched it closed. This is what our back looks like. You can see that opening there. That is where our zip will be sitting at the back. Now, next thing to do at this stage is to join the back panel of your bodice to the back part of your trousers. So what I did was to place them side by side. See what we have right now. So you're going to flip the bodice towards the pants, okay, towards your trouser, facing both sides, right sides facing each other. Right, so here, this is how you're going to be flipping them on top of each other. You're going to be matching the waistline. Ensure you use your pins to secure the edges. All right, so here I'm going to just use my pins to secure all of the waistline for both parts, and then I'm going to take it to my machine, and we're going to be joining the bodies of the back to the back panel of my trouser. All right, so here, after joining, this is it for the back. I have a complete back from the neckline down to the ankle. So here the back has been joined. So what you've done for the back is what you're going to repeat for the front. Now we're going to join the front bodice and the front panel of our trouser at the waistline. We're going to be joining them together on the waistline. Now you all just go ahead and take the front panel of your bodice and flip it towards the right side of the front trouser. Right, so the way I just flipped it to be on top of my trouser, now I pinned it down at this stage, and we're going to be stitching it close at the waistline. So after stitching the two of them, joining the two of them together, here is what we have: a full complete front piece for the front jumpsuit. All right, now moving on to the back, I'm going to be attaching a zip to the back. So now I will be using this invisible zipper. I've done a video on how to sew a zipper. If you've not seen that, I'll leave the link in the description box. So here, after attaching the zip at the back, this is what it looks like. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do, after I've placed my zipper, I've attached my zipper at the back of my pattern for the back, is to now work on the facing. So for the facing of the front, I have pinned it all around the neckline. So we're going to be stitching these two pieces together at the neckline at the sides, so that we can conceal our neckline and also the chest line of our pattern. So this is what we are going to go do right now. I'm going to stitch it all together. So at the end of that, I will turn it inside out after stitching and iron it out. So here it's what it looks like after stitching them together, the facing and the main fabric together. This is the front. This is what it looks like. You can see how clean and beautiful it's looking. Yeah, so now we've gotten this part here. The next thing is to also stitch the facing for the back as well. So I've placed the back facing on the back, and I'm going to be stitching it down on the neckline and also down on the zipper line, so it attaches itself to the zipper. I'll do this for the first side of the back. I'll also do the same thing for the other side. So you see the way I'm attaching my facing. So I attached it from the zipper all the way to the neckline, to the shoulder line of my garment. All right, so when you stitch, you're going to be stitching it from the zipper line all around your neckline and back to the other side. Okay, So here, after pinning the facing to my main garment, I will go ahead and stitch it all up right now, and then I will turn it inside out. And before you turn it inside out, I'm going to be notching the curves so that it relaxes nicely on the neckline of the back. So after placing your notches at the curved, that's at the neckline of your back, you know that part is a curvy part, so you need to place notches so that it will relax nicely when you turn it inside out. So after placing that notch all around the curves part of my back neckline, I went ahead to turn it inside out to reveal the right side of my garment and what it looks like. And also at this point, after turning it inside out, I went ahead to iron it out. So if you ironed it out, it's going to be relaxed and it will look flat and it will stay down. So that's what we have done here. After ironing, this is what it looks like. Next, what I will do is to conceal the armhole of my back. Right here, I have cut out 2 pieces of fabric 1 inch in width, and I'm going to use this to conceal each of the armhole of my back panel. So here I'm going to be placing the strip on the right side of my garment, right side facing each other, and I'm going to stitch by 1/2 inch. I will do this for the first side of the back and also for the other side of the back. I'm going to stitch it the way you stitch a bias, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do right now. And after stitching that down, the armhole of the back has been concealed. Okay, so now we are going to be joining the back and the front, and what I'll do is to place them on on each other, right sides facing each other, and we are going to be joining them at the shoulder line, at the sides down to the ankle. So what I've done here is to use my pins to hold the shoulder line together, right sides facing each other. So you place the front and the back on top of each other, right sides facing each other, and you are going to secure the shoulder line. We'll be securing the sides for the both sides. Okay, so I will use pins now to secure all of my sides from the underarm to the ankle. So when we take this to the machine, it will be easier for us to just run a straight stitch from the underarm down to the ankle. Now that I'm done spinning off all of my sides, we take it to the machine now and we stitch up. Now that we are done stitching, this is what it looks like. The shoulder has been secured, the sides has also been secured. So what is left is the inner seam, that's the inner leg for the crotch of the front and the back. So what I would do to join these two together is to get the two crotch, the midpoint of the crotch for the front and the back, and we are going to pin them both together side by side, ensuring that the seam at that point matches each other. Then I'm going to use pins to secure it all the way down to the inner leg of this jumpsuit, and then we'll take it to the machine and we are going to join it together. And after that, the next thing is to hem the lower part of the trouser. So I'm going to go to the machine also and secure the lower part of the trouser. So here, after I have folded the lower part of my trouser, and what I did next was to iron it out. Okay, just give your trouser or your jumpsuit a very good press, and after that, this is what I have. It's looking beautiful and clean. All right, and this is what the front looks like. And I'm going to turn to the back so you can also see what the back looks like as well. So this is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Stay blessed. Bye.